Good morning, kiddos. This is Mr. B, and it is Tuesday, April 27th, and this is the how-to art for trimester 3, week 7 on the Coltrane pentatonic. Here is ultimately this is the music we're playing, but we're going to work on the art. So I want you to at least hear the music in the context of the art. Now, certainly, online through Canvas, you have other resources that are there to provide a little bit more depth, and our lecture this week also features a little bit more exploration into Coltrane and the pentatonic. This is specifically, again, the artwork that we're working on this week. So here is a clean slate, and then let's begin with that work. So top of your page this week is going to be trimester 3. And this is week 7. And this is Coltrane, T-R-A-N-E, and then giant steps. Okay. Up here in your upper right box, let's do a little, your class period. Art. And then over here on the left, let's make a little block. And then your name. There we go. This week you're going to be drawing a staff. 2, 3, 4, 5. It will be a treble clef. And this week you're recording ultimately at 72 BPM, and then you're going to play back at 144 BPM. That's where we're going there, okay? And normally we don't draw in ledger lines completely, but for the purpose of our reinforcing the note names on the staff, I'm going to do it this way today. So 3 ledger lines, and you're going to draw them in. Now we know this is always our C, and we know we call this the G clef. So we know those two things are going to be there. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then if this is C, this is B, A, G, F, E. A mnemonic to memorize that sometimes, the reverse order is B, A, G, F, E, D, bag fed. All right, now the notes that we're going to be playing this week are an F sharp, a D, a B, we're going to play a G, we're going to play an A sharp, we're going to play another B, and then we're going to play an A that is natural, not sharp or flat. So here is our F sharp. We're going to circle that. We're not making formal notes and stems. I just want you to put these in little bubbles, little circles, so we can see what's going on. And the A, I want you to make like a little dotted framework around it. Label this one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, because that's the order in which you're playing them. So that as you heard us playing, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, F sharp, D, E, B, G, and then, well, B, A. So now, in terms of our art, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to draw the pitch class space wheel that we've become accustomed to. And again, as circular as you can get it. Those of you who like to use a compass and all that stuff, I think that's great. All right, our note that we're going to begin on this week is G, and the reason for that is because it's the lowest note in our construction, and we're going to do G sharp over here, and then following around. So after G sharp is A, then A sharp, then B, then C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, and F sharp. Again, realize that E and B don't have sharps. B, E. Be yourself. There are no sharps. So that's that deal. So the notes, and again, we're playing our F sharp, a G. We're playing a D. We are playing a B. And right now we're going to circle the A sharp. But around the A again, I want you to make kind of a dotted little gag. Now the way we play this, and here's the pentatonic shape. Penta being 5 Teutonic. There's our half step. Here's a half step. And you can see it's almost looking like an arrow, but it's lacking symmetry. And it would, in order for it to remain symmetrical off of here, it would kind of here between D and D sharp. So it's part of the reason for why the sound works the way that it does. Now when we play it, again, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, we're playing 1, 2, 3, and then we hop up here. 4, and then 5. So from a modal perspective, these are the 5 notes that would be played in that particular mode, that structure, that chord even, if you want to look at it that way. But the order in which you play those notes is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the 1, 2 part happens, the B to A goes like this. That is the 1, 2. This is the 1, and this is the 2. And here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. That's the deal there. I'm calling this G, H, G, big H, little h. So this is going to stand for, I'm going to draw a table over here in a minute, but this is for a giant step. This is a half step, giant step. I call this a hop, because remember, a whole step begins with W, and then H is half step. So we have a half step right here. That's our half steps. This right here, this big distance, is going to be a hop. This distance here is a hop. This distance here is a giant step. And this distance here is a giant step. What we're going to discuss here in just a minute, though, is that, again, this is the Coltrane pentatonic. Now here in our notes, we're also going to create a little bit of structure, but at first I want to make sure I put my keyboard down here at the bottom so that it's in place, so I know where I'm going to be drawing. This will give me room for my table over here, and then we're going to draw another table over here. No chairs for either one of these tables. Yeah, I know, it's a bad joke. And here we go. And let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. And then 5, 2, 5, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2. Now the way this song runs is it's ba 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 ba, and then it repeats. There are 26 changes in giant steps. Now, this etude is only the first 7, just the first 7 of 26 root tones that connect the melody of the sax with the chord changes. That's what that is. Okay. Keep in mind too, as you are examining this work and understanding what's happening, that these distances internally, and we're going to build a little table here, and then we're going to build that table as we're going to draw a base. Divide that into fours. Build on top of that like a little cake. Give yourself one more stack. And here you're going to write major third. Here you're going to write minor third. Here you're going to write major second, minor second. A minor second is a half step. That's that H. This major second is really two half steps. You could also think of it as a whole step. A minor third is three half steps. It's also a whole step and a half step, but I like to call it a giant step because of this guy, because of Coltrane. That's why I call it that. And then a major third is really four half steps. You could also think of it as two whole steps, and I like to call it a hop, also known as an H. And the reason for that is because I believe that jazz and blues, and the Black Keys in particular, are the origins of hip hop. And so I'm calling that a hop, my liberty. And keep in mind that what we have here, the distance here, 1, 2, 3, 4 half steps. So 4 half steps. This is a major third. So you'll hear people talk about the Coltrane pentatonic that it's in fifths. Well, it's in fifth because the first pass here starts in F sharp, and then when we do this version, which is the exact same structure, it gets rooted down in here in D. And the distance here between, starts in G rather, but this distance, 1, 2, all the way around, gets us from G here to D is this perfect fifth. So that's what they're kind of talking about. And yes, that's sort of true. But the real issue that Coltrane is working with is this structure of major thirds against minor thirds. So the hops are all major thirds, whereas the giant steps are all minor thirds. So there's two sets of major thirds and two sets of minor thirds, and then there's two half steps, and that's what's happening. That's why it sounds the way that it does. The last thing that we're going to draw for the art this week is we're going to draw our keyboard down here. All right, and I would like you to start, let's start here at E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Again, white keys are A through G, no sharps, no flats. There are only 7 notes and they repeat over and over again. This week, the notes again that we are playing, we're starting off with this F sharp. So let's draw in our sharps. There's no such thing as an E sharp. There's such a thing as an F sharp. Now, E sharp technically is an F. So there is such a thing as an E sharp. E sharp and F are the same name. Like if somebody gave me, I'm Jim and I'm James. It's the same person. So E sharp and F natural are the same thing. G sharp, A sharp. Again, there's no B sharp unless you want to call that a C. B sharp is technically C. C is also B flat. I mean, B is also C flat. Let's say that correctly. C is also B, no, C is B sharp and B is C flat. Let's say that properly, finally. I can't do art and think at the same time. It's a brain thing, I guess. All right, so this week, again, we're starting here at our F sharp, and that's the only one I'm coloring in for that purpose. F sharp, circle it. And then we've got our D over here. Let's go ahead and circle that. And then we got a B over here, we're going to circle that. And then we've got a G over here, we're going to circle that. And then the A, again, we're going to do this little dotty thing around it. Little dots. Okay. And then the A sharp that we've got, that's the only other black key we're going to color in. A sharp. Put a circle around it. And again, the way we play this is we start over here at the 1 at F sharp. And then we're moving from there to D. That's the second thing we play. Then we look at B. That's the third thing that we play. Then we go to G. Then we're coming back up here to the A sharp, which is where we get this sound. Ba, 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 ba. This is all descending and then ascending. So these four are descending and then we ascend. And then we finish it off with the ba, ba, which is the B, A. And that B, A is right here. It's the 1 and a 2. That's ba, ba, and that's how it finishes. And that is your artwork for this week 7, trimester 3.